Hey guys, good evening once more and welcome to the Big Debate where we continue our coverage and discussions on the ongoing African Cup of Nations taking place in Cameroon. We have got to the stage of the quarterfinals, and the first quarterfinal games took place today. Earlier this afternoon, we made a post-match analysis of the game between Cameroon and Gambia, the game that Cameroon eventually won by 2 goals to 0. Now we'll be talking about the second game of the day, which is a game between Burkina Faso and Tunisia. We will also discuss a preview of the games that will be taking place tomorrow. So with me in the studio again, as usual, I have my man True Lion. So good evening, True Lion, and welcome to the Big Debate.
Good evening, Dr. T. It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you as well. I'm always very, very delighted to have you here so that we discuss football. And yesterday we have a new guest, someone who's very interested in football. And yesterday he showed his know-how of football. It's Maitre Achuo. Uh, Good evening, Maitre, and welcome to the Big Debate once more.
Good evening, Dr. T. I'm honored to be here today again. And True Lion, good to see you again.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Yes, thank you all for taking your time to join and to entertain the football public here. I know you guys already know you have a lot of fans out there. There was a lot of discussions yesterday. You know where it came from. So there are a lot of people who want to see how you guys discuss again today. So we'll dive straight and start talking football. And the first game we'll be talking about, we already had discussions earlier today about the first game. So we'll be talking about the game between Burkina Faso and Tunisia. The game which went on to end by 1-0, 1 goal to 0 in favor of Burkina Faso. So Burkina Faso have moved to the next stage of the competition, which is the semi-finals. So Truth Lion, yesterday, Maitre Bini started the discussion. So today I'm going to give you the honor. So tell me what you saw, what you think. Did the game meet your standards, and what are your analysis of this of the game between Tunisia and Burkina Faso, considering the fact that Tunisia came to this game with a huge reputation?
Yes, actually, the game was up to standard and a very good game, especially in the first half. We saw both teams going at each other. And remember, we talked about this coach, Carlo Malo, the Burkina Faso coach,
Yes.
before the tournament actually started. And he's proving to be a great tactician, because I think it's his tactics. Because without Bertrand Traore, his team actually played one of their best games in this tournament. You know, good for them. They had Kapsoba, who is a very good defender, as you all saw today. He actually came back and put some discipline in that defense, and that enabled their midfield to actually play at the level that they did play. Then we also saw the young kid, although he had the red card towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know, Ouattara. He was actually a vibrant player. So far, that's why I think it was the better team actually went through.
Yeah, I think you are going to talk about those individual players eventually and how they came out, but I will give the honor now to Maitre Ebini to give us his own overview and analysis of the game, what he saw.
Yeah, Dr. T, like I said yesterday, I already so I realized that Burkina Faso had a great team, starting from the first day when they faced Cameroon up to when they qualified to this stage. And I said they were going to win 2-1. It's unfortunately they ended 1-0. But in Burkina Faso, like I said yesterday again, I see a team that is very compact at the back. They're very solid in the midfield, and they have that pace in front and players who can go past 1-2 players. We saw that with Jibril Ouattara, Dango Ouattara, and Cyril Bayala. They are all players that are very good with the ball. So it's easier for them, for 6 players to maybe sit in the back and play long balls, which they can easily use to play in transition and attack the opponent. So again, they're still outside Cameroon. For me, they're now the next team to beat.
Yeah, you had said that yesterday, and you actually said, I agree with you that I think Burkina Faso is a better team, given that, of course, like Tunisia had won Nigeria, but that is the only game they had played. I mean, for the most solid team they played before. So you guys had mentioned a lot about the midfield of the solidity of Burkina Faso in the defense and in the midfield. It turns out that one of their star midfielder was the man of the match. Tell me, you guys, give me how any of you can jump in at any time. How this guy controlled the game, because he practically walked. He was like the engine in the Burkina Faso midfield.
I think
So either of you can start.
Yeah, I think in the midfield of Burkina Faso, I would say Burkina Faso actually played as a team. They were very elusive. They had excellent ball control. They
Yeah,
played without any inferiority complex. And I want to actually give that attention to the coach, because for me it's actually coaching. Because I've said that teams that actually came and attacked these quarterfinals, with initiative like we're gonna be the aggressor, the teams that are actually progressing,
yes,
and for Tunisia, when I look at Tunisia, because after this game, I actually had to go back and go look at Tunisia, especially from the group stage and all that, to actually see what type of a team they are. And it comes back to what I've been saying. They will organize, because they had like about 60% to 40 for Burkina Faso. So you think that they're actually dominating the game, because they will hold the ball in their back line, maybe move it up to the midfield, but it will end there. Even they are one of their best players that played the 10 shirt. He had a long free kick and all that. He didn't have someone to partner with, like a striker that is actually feared, like a center forward. Yes, a center forward that can actually occupy Burkina Faso like centrally, or maybe move into the channels. And that's what actually Tunisia actually lacked, moving that game plan of moving into the channels and giving cutbacks. So I think the better team actually won today.
yeah.
So,
But you also agree with me? Oh, okay, yeah. Before I ask you this question, I will let Maitre Bini give me his own
yes,
overall input. He
I,
called a few players. He called about Toure, Bayala, and the other guy. I've
yeah,
just forgotten the name.
Toure was phenomenal in the midfield. You could see that he was kind of the link. He would defend, play right in front of the two holding the two central defenders, and he also had the ability to pick the pass to the attacking players. But I think I agree with Joe Lion. The strength in the Burkina Faso team is the fact that they play as a team. Like,
Yeah,
it's no doubt Tapsoba was phenomenal at the back. It's like, and Kofi, their goalkeeper too, came out really, I mean, was one of the standout performers. I think with Tunisia, I saw a team that is playing typical North African football. They like to run and give those long passes, chase come to you, the defenders, which I think they tried. They did their best. Jaziri was there making those runs. One or two times he made the runs, but the ball did not come. And like True Lion mentioned, the 10 shed was actually the one pulling the strings.
yes, yeah, yeah. So the 10 shirt is
Yes, trying to
captain
play,
Kazri.
yes, he's trying to play in the Casri, he's trying to play in the midfield, trying to play in the attack. I feel like he was trying to overdo it, and thereby creating a situation in which, like, creating holes in different places. Whereas if he had just focused and play right behind Jaziri, Jaziri, it would have been
Yeah,
easier for the team to pick him. But he was all over the place, which to me kind of killed not just their game plan, but also made other players create a situation which other players could not really
could
fit
not
in
do.
specific positions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do agree there with you. Before we go to the goal, I think you guys, True Lion also mentioned that you had also mentioned about how colossal the Burkina Faso defense was. So I'll show this picture again because he's been one of my favorite players in the competition, and True Lion actually made me to start liking him. And then I've paid a little bit of attention to this guy, Tapsoba. So during the game with Cameroon, the first game of the competition, he didn't play because he tested positive. But today, he showed the kind of player he is. He's the player who, like, he takes the ball from you as if you are not there, and then he dribbles past you at the back.
Yes, actually, Tapsoba is a very, very good, one of the best defenders in Africa right now. However, what Tunisia failed to do is attack the channels. They failed to actually assert themselves on the channels, because going down the middle was actually very difficult, because Burkina Faso actually crowded that area, so it was impossible for them. So I guess today, remember in the game against Nigeria, I said Nigeria lacked a plan B. Today, they actually lacked a plan B, because even when Burkina Faso went down 10 men, it was still about 10 minutes to go in this game. Tunisia did not show anything. They were disorganized. They didn't know what they actually wanted to do. They were passing the ball like more sideways, backwards, without any, without
I mean, they wasn't creating any. They were not threatening Burkina Faso.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the ball. Yeah.
Exactly. So that actually showed a team that had no solution to the problems that they were facing.
Yeah, Maitre, if you have something to add there before we go now to the
I was
goal.
just no, just very quick. I think I agree with True Lion. The only issue with Burkina Faso is this is what I realized in today's game. They got tired like midway in the second half. Part of it was probably because they overworked themselves in the first half. They wanted to do a lot and did not really reserve some energy for the second half. Which, if they play a team like Cameroon or Egypt or Morocco, I think unfortunately for them, they're playing Senegal or Senegal. If they meet a team like Senegal in the semi-finals, it's going to be dangerous if they get tired. Someone like Mane, Ghana, and all those experienced players can kill you in less than no time.
Yeah, it will be interesting to watch that matchup because we don't even know if it's going to be Senegal who will progress to the semi-final. This competition has been full of surprises, so let's wait. And I mean, I don't want to talk about it now. We'll probably talk about, but even Senegal has actually underperformed in this competition. But I mean, as team progress, you never know how they will do. So let's talk about the goal. There is something that you guys mentioned, which is very, very important. I think, and eventually, maybe it was Burkina Faso's tactics. So I think one of you mentioned that Burkina Faso, okay, I think it was Trula who mentioned that Burkina Faso, sometimes they had the ball, had like 60% possession of the ball, but they weren't doing anything with it. This seems to me as if it's a tactic that, I mean, Tunisia had like 60% of the ball. This seems as if it's a tactic that Burkina Faso came to play with. They gave them the ball and then eventually they break dangerously, and their goal came from that kind of dangerous play.
Yes, actually, Tunisia had the ball. It was a minute, to halftime. You have to be careful with the ball. They were on the left wing, and they basically were not assertive enough. They didn't know what they were going to do with the ball. And when they lost the ball, they failed to close down where the danger was going to come in. And even with that, because Ouattara's goal, okay, yes, it was a good run, excellent run. He was ahead of the defender. He had the advantage, but the defender had actually caught up with him, and he was troubling. But the other defender who came to help made the same run like the guy that was with Ouattara. So that when Ouattara lost control of the ball, because he actually lost control of the ball, and it was interesting to see that ball actually touched his hand, because I was looking, it was as if the ball actually touched his hand. But then I was looking for VAR maybe to show it over and over, but they didn't actually show it.
So then, whose hand are you talking about? Ouattara or the Ouattara? Okay.
Yes, the ball had a bounce where I thought maybe almost because he didn't actually control, he had lost control of the ball. So, but fortunately, he found the ball again, and then he just struck with his left foot, and that was a good.
True, you're right, but I saw a moment of brilliance there, because I know initially I thought he had lost the ball, but if you watch it again, you realize that he actually controlled the ball. He brought the ball behind. So that to me was great skill. That was where he displays the two players, and the shot was phenomenal.
And even before True Lion responds, okay, True Lion, yes, you are saying that the second defender made the same wrong. If you were a second defender, look at how the guy scored the goal. He brought the ball back. If you were a second defender, what would you do?
Oh, no. There was always a possibility. Your man had actually caught up, so you will slow down. And as soon as he lost that ball, that was an easy ball he would have taken. Had he just waited a second, he would have taken that ball easily.
Okay, so you guys tell me about the brilliance of this kid. I think he's just 19 or 20 years old.
He's 19 years old. I mean, his run was actually brilliant because he had an advantage. He put himself in a position where the defenders actually panicked. So that advantage. He had excellent speed. So that's what actually created that goal. His speed, ball control, because running on top speed with the ball also is a good skill. Great skill.
Yeah, the pace, and also I think his youthfulness probably helped him, because sometimes when you are too experienced, you try to think so much. So the raw talent and youthfulness, youthful as they call it sometimes, youthful exuberance. So he just went with the ball and then did what he had to do. Boom! He
Yes,
scored like a very, very good goal.
yeah, that goal actually killed Tunisia, and I thought that this was one of the games that were going to go maybe again into penalty kicks, but that goal actually just killed Tunisia.
Yeah, and truly, I think watching this game today and the chances that Burkina Faso had in transition, which they lost, I was like, wow, True Lion was right that we need strikers. We need people with killer instincts in this tournament. But if Burkina Faso had a killer instinct striker, say like Abubakar or like the Trezeguet and the Inzaghi's, people who are waiting for you to just give the ball in there for them to kill it, trust me, they would have had like 3 goals because I saw a lot of counter attacks in which there was just nobody in there. Or when it came, you saw some inexperience in whoever received the ball. So
I agree with you that Burkina Faso did that, but also we must also I also saw a very wasteful Tunisia. They had the ball around the 18-meter box. I mean, like, not that they had the ball, but Burkina Faso lost the ball there and they really did nothing with it several times.
Yes, it's that final third that I've been talking about. And when I go back and I look at the games that they played, okay, Mauritania is the only team that came out of this competition without a point. So for me, that's not the team. You beat them 4-0. Okay, yeah, that's good. But all the games they played, they lost to Mali, they didn't score 1-0. The Gambia beat them 1-0. And then, Tunisia qualified with 3 points.
With 3 points, yeah.
And that's the game that they beat Mauritania. 4-0. So they qualified with 3 points. They beat Nigeria 1-0. And when you look at the goals scored by Nigeria, for me, okay, I wouldn't say it was just lucky because they had a great game plan, but that was the only chance, one of the clear chances that they actually created. So when you look at Tunisia, they're not. But let me tell you something in this game, right? A lot of people don't see it. A lot of people argue Burkina Faso was very lucky. They would have got it. For me, the ref missed giving them a red card and a penalty.
Yes, I agree with you on that. I know there are a lot of people who would argue out there that he had the ball first before tackling the defender, but that was reckless.
But because if you go look at the red card that was given to Iwobi had the ball before he touched the player. So now you bring VAR in a situation because it's in the box or maybe a different ref. You go to VAR, you see the reckless challenge. The guy took the ball, yes, but he almost ended the career of that Tunisian attacker.
Yeah,
that was a red card.
That
was a red card endangering the life of our opponent. Yes. So that was a clear red card.
Yeah. So I think, given that incident today, that is what is going to lead to Burkina Faso's elimination in this competition, because they did exactly the same thing against Cameroon in the first game, and they got 2 penalties. You remember the second penalty Cameroon got? That is almost the same kind of a tackle.
Yeah, and that was done by Traore. The first one was done by Traore. But this is something I've been saying, right? I'm a fan of good football, attacking football. I know defense wins but if Burkina Faso goes to the final, then it was because they will meet a certain Senegal that has been sleeping all through the tournament and does not use the arsenal that they do have. Because Burkina Faso, they're a good team, but I think they are actually very lucky to be in this stage of the tournament. I'll say that because they don't really have. Oh yes, I will say that. If they meet a team, if Senegal doesn't show up, then you will find Burkina Faso in the final.
So True Lion, this is where we make a mistake. We say if this team doesn't show up, the ability to show up in every game makes you a good team. Yeah, and you can't be a good team and you show up today and you don't show up tomorrow. Burkina Faso has been. Yes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I said today Burkina Faso played a good game. They were the better team, and their coach actually came up. The reason I'm talking about Senegal is because I have said this: the coach of Senegal, they are
Aliou Cissé,
former captain, and center back.
The coach, he has not actually showed up in this tournament. Is one of the reasons Senegal has not used, their ability to use. So that's what I'm saying, that it's come to a stage where of this tournament where you have to take the initiative. Like you see Cameroon play today. When Cameroon played against Comoros, what did I say? I blasted them.
You
Some
weren't
of you guys
impressed.
did.
I wasn't impressed. Many
That's
of us weren't
yes,
impressed. I know we
yes,
had a lot of stick
exactly.
not being impressed, but that's okay. It's our impression. So
Because
we didn't have
no,
to
no,
be
no, no,
impressed. But today they showed up.
because what happens in a tournament like this, when you have a good team and you are one of the favorites, you have played 4 or 5 games. There must be 1 or 2 games where you actually step up your game. That's what I'm talking about.
Impress. Were you impressed?
Yeah, impressed. I've talked about
We
Morocco.
definitely, yeah,
The teams
we
that have
definitely saw
impressed me
that.
so far.
Yeah, we definitely saw that today with Cameroon. Okay, so I didn't want to talk about the Cameroon game,
No,
but
we don't have to.
something came up this afternoon that I really want you guys to comment about before we move to the other games, and it's about the Cameroon game. So for you fans watching out there, you are for you the audience, you are watching the big debate. But I'm sorry I have to bring this in, but I think it's something that is very, very important that we talk about. So if a commentator in a French TV station actually mentioned that Cameroon hasn't played any of the top teams. Cameroon have progressed to the semi-finals of this competition without playing any top team. So, what is your assessment of that statement?
So I think that commentator, I saw that comment. I think it was on Twitter or something like that, and that's correct. That's correct. If you look at the teams outside Mali, I'm sorry, Burkina Faso, like I said, outside Burkina Faso, Cameroon, we're yet to meet a team that actually came to this tournament with the intention of even progressing to quarterfinals. That's a fact. Which
Yeah,
is
he
why
actually said like a team that has never won the competition. So yes, that's right.
not
Yeah.
even that has ever won, just a team that believe they can even go to
Okay.
quarterfinals, like the Ghanas, like the Moroccos, the Tunisia, the Egypt, the Cote d'Ivoire. We are yet to meet such a team, which is why yesterday I said the Gambia has overachieved. We played Comoros in the second round, a team also that had overachieved. We have to be very careful. It's getting tougher. We're going to meet Morocco or Egypt. I mean, I'm just going to put my fingers crossed.
Okay, great. True Lion. And what do you think about that statement? I personally, I think, yeah, while the statement is accurate, I think it's disrespectful to the other teams.
No, I think no, it's not disrespectful. He is there to do his job. When a journalist or an analyst comes out and says something like that, he is in his power to say something like that. He's there doing his job. And it's true. If you look at the teams that Cameroon has played, like even today, the Gambia did not show up. I'm not taking anything away from Cameroon, but Cameroon did what he had to do to go to the next round. But the Gambia did not actually show up. So next round, when you play a team like Morocco or Egypt, but guess what? In 2017, also, Cameroon did not play any good teams in the first round, right? But when they went to the finals, they played back to back. They played Ghana, they played Senegal, and they beat Egypt in the finals. So
in the finals,
you're dealt. Yes, you're dealt the team as the tournament progresses.
You can only play. Yeah, you can only play the team in front of you. You can't select your opponents.
Exactly.
Okay, quickly. So these are the results of the games today. So quickly, let's talk about the games of tomorrow. So there are 2 big games tomorrow. So all the games will be taking place in the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé. So the first game will be between Morocco and Tunisia, and the second game will be between Equatorial Guinea and Senegal. Guys, let's talk about this game. So the game between Morocco and Tunisia. What is your overall preview? Let me start with you, Maitre Ebini.
Yeah, so Morocco and Egypt. This is a local derby, a North African derby. They're rivals. Morocco, Egypt is like Cameroon, Nigeria. So I think this is going to be the best game in this tournament, without doubt. The 2 teams have quality. They have the killer instincts. We have Yakimi on that side, who is good with running the flanks, giving good crosses. Now he needs a clinical finisher who is going to react to those crosses. We have the Mo Salah, who is, we know is more or less the best player in the world. So I'm going to this game without say it's probably going to go to penalties, because I don't want to give a prediction, and then it's overall I think it's going to be the best game for the tournament, though.
Okay, let's hope it meets to the hype that everyone is talking about. The game, you never know how this game will turn out. So, True Lion, what do you think?
I think if the real Mo Salah shows up tomorrow, then Egypt will have a chance. But if Mo Salah doesn't show up tomorrow, I think Morocco would actually go out there and beat Egypt by a score of 2 goals to 1. I say 2 goals to 1, maybe just because I think Morocco will concede a goal, against Egypt. But I think that Morocco is a better team. They can play in the wings. They are very, very assertive, especially their last game when they went behind by 1 goal. You see, they did not panic. They had a game plan and they came out asking questions. And Hakimi is actually, when he goes, Morocco goes. And you saw the free kick that he scored.
Yeah.
So he's playing like a center forward that I'm looking. The center forwards that I'm actually looking in this, that I'm crying, in this tournament. He's a player that refuses for Morocco to actually lose. So I think Morocco actually has a better team because Egypt has that problem. Yes, against Ivory Coast, they came out and played, but Egypt has that problem to transition from defense into midfield into attack.
Okay, so I'll also ask you this question. While you have said if Mo Salah shows up, Egypt might be fantastic and they can go ahead and win the game. But also, what if Hakimi doesn't show up?
No, Hakimi is always going to show up. He's actually, Hakimi is always going to show up. He showed you what I mean, because there are certain players, even when they go to the national team, they are the same. They're themselves, because if you watch Mo Salah against Ivory Coast, he had 2 games. First half, he was brilliant. Second half, he was shut down by a player who I think shouldn't be shutting Mo Salah down because his first touches in the second half was actually bad. So there's something not actually working for Mo Salah in this team. I'm not sure what it's all about, but I think they had their best game against Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, yeah,
their best game against Ivory Coast. They won on penalties, but for me, it was not convincing, not at all.
Yeah. So this game, again, it's not just about the quality of the players. It's the rivalry that exists between these two teams. That's why I say it's going to be the best game. It's like a Tottenham Chelsea. It doesn't matter the type of the players that they have. If you bring players from under 23, it's still going to be a fight. So when I look at the rivalry that exists between the two teams, I get so excited and I can't wait to watch the game.
Yeah, I'm also very excited to watch the game. I really don't want to pick a team. I think Morocco has an advantage, and the reason I'm talking I think Morocco has an advantage is because one of the most spectacular players of Egypt has been their goalkeeper, and he was injured last game. So if he doesn't play, then that's going to be a very, very interesting situation. And maybe Egypt may go on to concede goals that they normally will not concede. So I am leaning towards Morocco. But like I tell you guys, I'm always wrong. So don't believe what I say, people, guys watching. And then let's talk about the second game of tomorrow. So it's going to be the game between the Teranga Lions and our neighbors, Equatorial Guinea. So what do you think about this game? Equatorial Guinea has been a surprise package of this competition.
Yes, those actually Senegal for me, they won 2-0 in their last game, but it was not convincing because they were playing against a depleted team, a team that had 2 red cards, and their game plan. Yeah. So I've been talking about their coach, and I think he needs to do better. I mean, now is the time. I mean, you are playing Equatorial Guinea. I know a lot of people will say that there are no small teams in this tournament, but this is a game where Senegal should go and say, okay, we are ready. Our competition starts now. There are 3 games to the finals, and our finals starts today. Every game. I
would like to hear what Maitre Bini says before I give my own.
I agree with True Lion. This is a point where when you say, okay, it's time for us to assert ourselves. It's time for us to show the world the class that we have. They have Mo Salah. They have El Nini from Arsenal. You see, they have Ghana from Paris Saint-Germain, who is a fixture in Paris Saint-Germain's midfield. So these are players, and they have this other young man who plays in the EPL as well, who plays in the wing. They have
maybe he'll play next game. He's been injured, so it's most likely that he's getting well now, so he might actually show up.
But if you look at as Maitre Bechem is saying, if you look at Senegal, I don't want to call names. That's why I'm actually calling the coach.
They've been MIA, yeah.
So based on that, you guys are very concerned about the coach, and so far, Senegal have not impressed, but Equatorial Guinea have been very impressive. Salvador, the Spanish-born Equatorial
Yes,
Guinean,
yes,
he has
yes.
been very very good, as well as their goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, so but I'm gonna go Senegal 3-1 for this game, and the reason I said 3-1 is just like I mentioned yesterday about the Gambia. Equatorial Guinea has overachieved. So they're going to come to enjoy themselves, and they're going to show so much respect for Senegal. And that's where the likes of Mane are going to take the ball and pin you back. And once Senegal pins them back, it's going to be difficult for them to come out. And that's how Senegal is going to kill them. So I go 3-1 on the game.
Yeah, Dr. T, I've been a
Yes.
very great advocate for local coaches, good local leagues.
Local leagues, yeah. Grassroots football.
Well, that will help fuel the national team, So when I see a guy like Aliou Cisse, he's been given that opportunity to carry the flag. And, tomorrow if you feel some people who are very impatient will say, okay, you look at Cisse was giving Senegal and he did not do a good job. I don't know if Cisse is the best candidate for the job. The only way you can see the best candidate of the job, if you have a very competitive league where your local coaches can compete, then you take the best. But so far in this tournament, Cisse has a squad that can actually beat any team, but he has failed to give them that platform where they can excel and show some beautiful football. I'm not only talking about winning, I'm talking about Senegal dominating games.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think sometimes in football generally, especially national team football, it's not always the case. Sometimes when a coach overstays, they start losing their capacity to control the team. So Cisse he took Senegal to the World Cup. He played with Senegal in the last Nations Cup. I think, did they get to the finals?
Dr. T, there is no excuse. If you look at the players Senegal has, the players that are on that field, even when they played their last game, they were down to 10 and all that. Senegal was still not convincing. They scored the last goal just minutes before to win 2-0.
Yeah.
I've watched Senegal like
True Lion, I agree with you. But I think that this is a difficult tournament. These guys, the coaches did not really have enough time to bring the players together so they can gel and understand one another. We have to take that into consideration. This, like someone like Mane left the game. After the game, they played a game against Chelsea. Mane was traveling to join the team.
It was Chelsea, Liverpool. So Mane and Mendy actually traveled together.
They joined the team. 4 or 5 days later, they're playing their first game. So just imagine you travel, you have a day or two to rest, and then you have to join the team. And I understand. Then the COVID restrictions and all of that is difficult for this team to gel together. I'm not saying that it has been great, but I'm just saying that we have to be cautious too.
Maitre Bechem, if we're gonna make excuse for one person, we're gonna make excuse for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Because this is not the first time we see Coach Cisse coaching. I've been watching him even before COVID and all that. I mean, the team has not progressed. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The team has not progressed. So if I'm gonna make excuses for Senegal, then I better not blame the Cameroon coach. You see what I'm talking
about? Guys, yeah. So all right, yeah. Maitre Bini Maitre Bechem gave me his prediction. He said 3-1. What do you think? True Lion.
I think Senegal should go ahead and win this game 3-0.
Okay, great. It's always good having you both here. I like the exchange and so the different ideas. So it is always a pleasure having you guys here. And for everyone who watched out there, to watch a big debate with True Lion and Maitre Bechem Bini. And we will be here tomorrow to give the post-match analysis of the games between Senegal and Equatorial Guinea, as well as Morocco and Egypt, because Cameroon's next opponent will be between the teams playing the first game, and that is the Morocco Egypt game. Everyone out there, good evening, and good evening, True Lion and Maitre Ebini.
Allez le Lion de la Las. I'm with Morocco tomorrow.
I'm with Senegal tomorrow. So
okay, great guys. So we catch up here. We'll be back here tomorrow. Good evening, everyone, and see you guys tomorrow. It was nice having all of you here, and Let's chat